Okay, my name is Nelson, and this is Ability Uganda e-learning. We are still making a continuation of our understanding more of these fractions. Here we look at a category of these fractions. We see how do they always ask and how do they always trick our learners on how they can attempt them. So these are the tricks and the knowledge that we want to explore more for us to be able to pass out such a numbers when they are asked. So we had so far done one of the numbers that we are given, our activity. Our activity one, they wanted us to find out the next two equivalent of fractions. Then our number two, they have just given us what we call the unknown. They tell you to find the next equivalent of a number, or they put the unknown like the y, the m. Okay, so you can see our part A here. They were saying find the unknown below. We have 1 out of 2 is the same as y out of 6. Our part B is 1 out of 3, 3 out of 8 is the same as 15 out of m. And then our part D, they are saying we have 1 out of 3 is the same as y out of 9. So we want to find out what is the value of m if they have told us that this 1 out of 8 is the same as 15 out of m. What is the value of m? And then also here, what is the value of y? Then after finding the value of y, is it true that 1 out of 3 out of 8 is the same as 15 out of m? That's what we want to understand, and we see how we can look out at this. So let's get started with this number where we are having 1 out of 2 is equal to y out of 6. Okay, let's get our pen here. We are saying we have our what? We are having our 1. Okay, this is going to be our solution. Our solution what? Our solution number 2. Our solution number 2, where we are having our 1 out of 2 is equal to y out of 6. This is the number that we want us to solve. This is our part A of number 2. I want to solve out and see 1 out of 2 is the same as y out of 6. How do we come up with this? So for us to be able to solve this number, we can still arrange it. We can say our 1 out of 2 being equal to y out of 6. How do we come up and get our y? Here we can either cross multiply, okay, or we multiply our 6 on both sides. So let us do what? What should we do? Should we cross multiply? You can cross multiply here, or we multiply 6 on both sides. Let's multiply 6 on both sides. So here we shall say times 6. We are multiplying 6 on what? On both sides, to ensure that we eliminate our y. We see our y is equal to what? So here we shall be able to cancel them, and now here we shall be able to say we have now our 6 times 1 out of 2 is equal to y. Then we look out when we divide this number is the same as 6 out of 2, or we can say by 2, 2 divided by 2, 1, then we say by 6, here we shall get our 3. So this simply means we have our 3 times 1 is equal to y. Then when we say our 3 times 1, this simply means we shall have our 3 is going to be equal to y. Now this now means that that when we have our y, this means that when you have our 1 out of 2 being equal to y out of 6, we have got our value, our y is equal to 3. Okay, so now this simply means we can say this is the same as 1 out of 2 is going to be equal to 3 out of 6. So this is now the equivalent of our number which is given. Okay, so I told you that using this you can also use one way of cross multiplying. Shall use it to another example, which is going to be our part B. Let's look at our part B. What do they want? Our part B, we have 3 out of 8 is the same as 15 out of m. Our part B is 3 out of 8 is equal to part B is 3 out of 8 is going to be equal to 15 out of m. Okay, 15 out of what? Out of m. We said we can also still cross multiply and we get the same answer. So here we can say our 3 out of 8 being equal to 15 out of m. When you cross multiply this, when you cross multiply, let's use our the other method. Let's cross multiply. This is the same as 8 times 15 is going to be equal to our 3 times m. So what is 8 times 15? Can we calculate it from here? We have our 15 here. We are going to multiply it by 8. Okay, this is our number. We are going to multiply by what? By 8. What is 8 times 5? We said for us to be able to get our answer as quickly, or we can say this is the same as 8 times 5. We say our 8, how many times? 5 times. Okay, so now we add this. Okay, so this is 16, then 8. So we now add. Okay, we have our 16. This is what? This is 32, then 38. Okay, so this simply means here we have 8 times this, we have 38. So we write our 8. I will say 8 times what? 8 times 1, we get 8, plus 3, we get 8 plus 3, we get our 11. 100. This is 100 and what? 118 is going to be equal to our 3 what? Our 3m. So this is where we are. This is where we are. We want to find out what is the value of what? What is the value of our number? What is the value of our number, which is m? Okay, what is the value of our number, which is m? Okay, let's first look out at our calculation here. We have this is 8 times let's look at our number here. We have our 8 times 5. 8 times 5, we shall be able to come up with our number, which is our 20 here. Okay, this is going to be our 20. Then we shall be able to write our, let's write it very well here. We write our 0. Then we say what is 8 times this. 8 times 8, Okay, this is our number. We are saying we want to multiply out this number of hours. What is 8 15 times what? Times 8. Okay, times 8. We are saying when you multiply our 8 times 5, we get 40. Okay, 8 times this, we get 40. So we shall write our what? We shall write our 0 and we carry 4. So 8 times this, we get our 8, then plus 4, we get 12. So our answer here is going to be 120. Is going to be equal to 3m. Okay, so now here we are having our 3. What we shall do is to eliminate our 3 from here. We shall divide it by 3, also here by 3, then we cancel. After cancelling, that simply means we are remaining with our 120, okay, being equal to m. But remember, this is divided by what? By 3. So this is the same as what is 120 divided by 3? Okay, this is the same as our answer shall be 40, being equal to our m. So now this simply means if we have our number, which is in this number of hours, this was the same as our 3 out of 8 is being equal to our m. This is 15 out of what? Out of 40. So this is the correct answer that we have been able to derive or come to when we have been given what? The unknown. These things are not very hard. You can also be able to use some more other methods for us to come up with what? To come up with the same number. Can we also still look at some more of these questions that we are given? Another question was 3 out of 4 is equal to p out of 16. 3 out of 4 is equal to our part C, or 3 out of 4 is equal to p out of 16. Out of what? Out of 16. Okay, let me try to write this very well. Let me try to write this very well. Okay, so this they are saying out of what? Out of 16. I think that is okay. So let's also try to find out that number of hours. 3 out of 4 is equal to p out of 16. Okay, so let's also for this number we shall say 3 out of 4 is being equal to p out of 16. We shall multiply this by our 16 on both sides by 16. We cancel this. We say our 16. Okay, we shall say our 3 out of what? Our 3 out of 4 times 16 is going to be equal to our p. Then here we say what is 4 divided by 4 by 4, we get 1. 16 by 4, we get our 4. Okay, what is 16 divided by 4? We have our 16 divided by what? Divided by 4. So we still get our answer as what? As our 4. So this simply means that now here we are remaining with our 3 times 4 is going to be equal to our what? Our p. Is that right? So now this simply means that our p, this p of ours, okay, we can say our p is going to be equal to 12. Then to conclude this, let me conclude this and put our answers here such that everyone can be able to see it. To conclude, then we can say our 3 out of 4 is the same as our 12, which is p out of 16. So we can prove this number and find out that our 12 is the same as 3 out of 4. from using our concept of what? Of equivalence. So if you can divide this by 3, what is 12 divided by 3? What is 12 divided by 3? Or 12 divided by 4? Shall be able to get our 3. Then we look out for a factor that can divide 12 and 16. Okay, so when you use a 3 cannot divide what? 16. So we can use our 4. By 4 we get 3. Then by 4 we get 4. So this number is still the same as this one. So it is equivalent to our original number which has been given. So using this concept, that's how we are going to be finding out the equivalence of the unknown what? The unknown numbers. Alright, we shall now be looking at some more examples. If our question has been done, we can see we still have some more one question which is remaining. Let's try to solve it. We have our 1 out of 3 is equal to y. Can we solve it from here? Okay, let's solve it from here. We have our 1 out of 3 is equal to y out of 9. So we are saying we are to find out this number, we have a 1 out of 3 being equal to y out of 9. We multiply 9 by both sides, times 9 times 9. So here we cancel. We say our 9 times 1 out of 3 is going to be equal to our y. Then we cancel. We say our 3 by 3 1, by 3 3. So here we shall have our 3 times 1 is going to be equal to y. Okay, 1 divided by 1 is the same as 1. So we shall have our 3 is the same as y. Therefore, we can say that our 1 out of 3 is equivalent to 3 out of 9. That is our answer. Okay, so this is the concept that we use while finding the equivalent, especially when you are being given unknown of y, unknown of x, unknown of these numbers. It is very simple for you to work out with such numbers when they are given. Alright, so for this lesson we can say that it has been wonderful. Only to make a recap of it, we are saying that we can use two methods. In these methods we look out for the what? We get our number which is divided by the unknown, we multiply it on both sides, then after multiplying it on both sides, then we can be able to get the final answer. Okay, so for this, let me say thank you for being part of this lesson. Please be able to check out on the playlist, or if you have missed out any lesson, because we move on the same page and want us to make this understandable, a topic that is ahead of you, you can be recommended to watch the one which is behind, such that you can move on the same pace. Stay blessed. Nice moment. See you in the next lesson.